Sitting is the new smoking, as they say. Why, in that case, would I have a problem with sitting in such a comfy chair like this? To be honest with you, I actually do have issues sitting in this chair. This chair is very comfortable, but after a while, I actually start to feel a little pain in my lower back. Let's talk about sitting for a few moments, and let's talk about how we can improve your sitting posture. All right, so listen, sitting in a chair like this, yeah, it might be cool. It can spin. It's got comfortable fabric on it. It's got a little adjustable back. The downside to this is, as you can see here, as I sit, my back is on here, my upper back is on here, my lower back is actually separated from here. All right? It's actually more comfortable for me to sit like this than it is to sit like this upright. All right? As you can see, my upper back can't get on there when I'm like that. That's the problem with most chairs nowadays, is that you can't really sit in a good posture and actually help your spine. You're either sitting slightly backward, you're sitting upright, or you have to tilt forward and you're rounding your lower back. Either way, we're having an issue with sitting in a chair. So what is the solution? Well, obviously, outside of just sitting upright and trying to stay as upright as you can and using the lower back support on your chair to help you support your lower spine, what you can do is do something that I found not too long ago. Now, we all know about Swiss balls, yoga balls. I actually have one right in the back over there. I don't know if you can see it, but I do have one in the back. I have a couple of them. We use those for various exercises, but you might have heard that you can also use a yoga ball or a Swiss ball, as they call them, to sit on as a chair. Now, that's a really good idea. You can sit on these as a chair. However, the problem is that if you are a beginner in exercise or beginner in general in working your core, sitting on one of those yoga balls for an extended period of time is not going to be helpful for you at all. In fact, it might actually be more of a detriment than a positive for you. And why is that? Well, as I said, if you are not really if you're not experienced in using your core, you might do what's called I've actually talked about this before. You might do what's called develop a compensation. So what that means is that you're going to be doing something like this. All right, you're going to be doing something like this, whether you're leaning forward or leaning back with your lower back off the chair. You're going to be doing something like that, and you are going to be strengthening your core in a way that is going to exasperate those compensations. It's going to strengthen those compensations, making those compensations even more difficult to get rid of when you are trying to fix your posture. So what I would suggest outside of a yoga ball is this new thing I saw called a Swiss ball. Now, I don't actually have one of those on me, but we actually made a makeshift Swiss ball earlier on today. I'm going to try to see if we can get a video for you, or at least a picture of it for you in the afterwards show notes. But it's essentially a box that we have in here, and we put a BOSU. It stands for both sides up. Essentially, it's just a stable platform, and it's like a half of a Swiss ball sitting on that platform. And I have to say that me and my associate, we really enjoyed it. It actually felt really nice on the spine. Now, the reason why it felt so good on the spine is because, again, it actually cancels out those compensations that you would develop in a chair. It actually makes you sit upright. And when you don't sit upright, it actually feels weird, to be honest with you. Yeah, we try to actually sit with our shoulders hunched and shoulders sitting back. It didn't feel right. It actually felt proper. So, like I said, most chairs, they kind of have that lean back position. So you almost like they're sitting in a bucket, or they're flat. So when you sit on them, it almost feels like you have needles going into your spine. Or you have, like I said, if you're working and you have one of those two chairs, you might be leaning forward trying to get in there, and then that's not so good for your shoulders. So yeah, again, if you want to, help your posture, if you want to fix your posture, sit upright while you're sitting at your chair. But, and I'm no way endorsed, but I might have to put up a link somewhere by this yoga chair, yoga ball chair. I say it's really good. But if you don't buy one of those, just find a BOSU somewhere, or find one of those balance discs and put them on top of your chair. It's a great way to work your core. It's not so intense that it's going to really challenge you and make you create compensations in your movement or in your posture. But it is just enough to give you a little something to where you are actually going to be getting stronger while doing your work throughout the day. So there you have it. Good thing about the yoga ball chair is that it helps you with your core, and it's a really good thing to help you with your core, whether you're advanced or not. But downside to it, there's not really many downsides to this yoga ball chair. I would just say there's two things. One thing is that with regular sitting, you want to make sure that your feet are flat on the floor, right? You don't want to have your feet dangling. You don't want to have your tippy toes on there. You don't want to be too low in your chair either, where you're almost like where you're taking a squat or you're in a squat position. And another thing I just thought about off the top of my head is that if you have that yoga ball chair, they actually have wheels on them. You know, who knew that a ball needs wheels? But the way that it's structured, it has wheels on it. So I was just thinking, if you were to go to sit down, and kind of like back in the days in elementary school, if you try to sit down and the bully would pull the chair out from underneath you, same principle. If you have the wheels unlocked and you try to sit on there, because it's not a flat surface that you're going to be sitting on, that chair is going to fly away from you, and you're going to end up with your tailbone at the top of your spine. So maybe those are two things to be careful for or careful about and to think about. But other than that, I would say that if you could do something that would challenge your balance just a little bit, not too much, but challenge your balance just enough to where you can still get your work done and not be too focused on actually trying to keep yourself on top of the sitting apparatus that you're on, that would be a really good thing for you. So yeah, I hope that you take this advice, do something that'll help you with your posture. Nothing too much because, as I said, it's just not a great idea to be trying to do too much. At the same time, you're going to develop compensations because you're just working on trying to get your abs as well. You're trying to, fill out your TPS report. So that's not a really good thing. Just something that feels comfortable is probably your best bet. So like I said, I hope you heed that advice. Hope you try it out. Try something out similar to that Swiss ball chair. And yeah, if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to leave them down below. I do appreciate everyone that's left comments and had some questions. It's like I said, it helps us create more videos and more content for you in the future. If you do have any other questions about that, or you have anything that you don't feel like writing down but hope that we might answer, feel free to subscribe because we'll be answering all your health and fitness related questions in the near future. All right. Thanks again for watching, and as always, keep good company.
That's awesome!